Alright guys, we're back with more Dragon Age Origins and we're already, I might say, at the half point of the game, maybe even more. But now we're at the party camp, so I might as well talk to everybody and maybe clean up my inventory. So let's do that. Let me see your wares. Alright, let's see the weapons first. We have nothing. Now this I don't need anymore, but I believe I could give it to some of my companions for sure. Oh, looks like my inventory is already cleaned up. I have some stuff here that I need though. I have gifts too that I can give. I'm gonna give them to. Might sell some of these runes once I check them out properly. Might do that stuff off screen. But now let's talk. Let's start with Morrigan.
'Tis cold in my tent all alone.
Well, alright, let's bang, I guess. Well, we can't have that.
So you shall come to my tent? But whatever shall we do in that tiny little space together while we wait for it to warm?
I'll leave that up to you.
Good. Then let us waste no more time with foolish talk.
Alright, now we'll get this cringy romance scene. Out in the open. I bet the rest of the party members are pretty uncomfortable. I can just imagine what the others are thinking by the campfire over there. Oh man.
I see
that's
the
so funny.
stories they tell of Grey Warden endurance are not exaggerated.
Do you really need to talk?
Oh, finished with me now, are you? Well, you do not get away so easily as that. I will have my way with you until I am satisfied, out of a sense of fairness, if nothing else.
That sounds like fun.
I wouldn't be so quick to imagine the best. My notions can run to the painfully perverse.
I can imagine.
Simply know that I have no designs on your independence. I wish only to do what I desire, and if that coincides with what you desire, then so be it. And should you decide not to continue our misadventure, then so be it. Very simple, is it not?
I can live with that.
Then we should get along marvelously. Come then, let us be off before the others begin to stare.
So yeah, Morrigan just wanted the fuck buddy. And that's all fine with me. Now, I don't want to talk to Sten because I'm pretty much exhausted all the dialogue with him. Now, Alistair.
Something on your mind?
I have some questions.
Of course.
Why did you keep your birthright a secret?
You never asked?
That's a cheap answer.
All right. If you want the full explanation, I'll give it to you. The thing is, I'm used to not telling anyone who didn't already know. It was always a secret. Even Duncan was the only Grey Warden who knew. And then after the battle, when I should have told you, I don't know, it seemed like it was too late by then. How do you just tell someone that?
How about, by the way, I'm the heir to the throne?
Yes, well, I suppose part of me kind of likes you not knowing.
You enjoyed not telling me?
It's just that anyone who's ever found out has treated me differently afterwards. I was the bastard prince instead of just being Alistair. I know that must sound stupid to you, but I hate that it shaped my entire life. I never wanted it, and I certainly don't want to be king. The very idea of it terrifies me.
It doesn't sound stupid at all.
For all the good it does me, my blood seems certain to haunt me no matter what I do. I guess I should be thankful that Al Eamon is far more likely to inherit the throne. If he's alright. Oh, I hope he's alright. And for what it's worth, I'm sorry for not telling you sooner. It was a dumb thing to do.
Don't worry about it, Alistair. No harm done.
I guess it's kind of a relief that you know now. Let's go.
So we got 2 approval for him. We have to harden him still. I don't remember if I have gotten the dialogue yet. I can get it outside of the party camp. Let's talk to Zevran. Our little prisoner assassin.
I may.
I have a question. Oh, yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. I swore an oath to serve you, yes? And I understand the quest you're on, and this is all very fine and well. My question pertains to what you intend to do with me once this business is over with, as a point of curiosity.
I wish there had an option to say that, oh, well, I would execute you, of course. You could go, if you wanted.
Could I? And what if I didn't wish to leave?
This one here initiates romance, this option. So let's not pick that. I could always use a friend.
Indeed. I might even be glad to call myself such, come to think of it.
We are really
It is
quick to
good know what my
befriend
options might
our
be, but
prisoners.
that is for another
We
time.
really
For
want
now,
to
we
get
have
that
much to do,
Stockholm
yes?
syndrome in them. Now Zevran approves, that's great. Now Liliana.
Something I can help with?
I'd like to talk to you about something.
Yes? What's on your mind?
Oh yeah. You were a traveling minstrel. Do you have tales to share?
Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
Tell me about Darkspawn.
Chantry law says it is man's pride that created the Darkspawn. In ages past, the mages of the Tevinder Imperium
already know
ruled much
all
of
of
the
this.
world we know. In their pride,
Bunch of
they thought
different
their
people have
magic
already
invincible
explained this to us.
and imagined that they were greater than the Maker himself. So thinking, they invaded his golden city, planning to take it for themselves and depose their own creator. But they were impure and full of sin. And it is with the sin that they tainted the golden city, corrupting it forever. The Maker cursed them and cast them from his sight. Wherever they went, they spread the taint of their sin. Any land that was touched by the taint became blighted and would suffer no life. Instead, the Darkspawn arose to torment us and remind us of our hubris.
Know any stories from Orlais?
Of course, Orlesians enjoy telling stories. I shall tell you my favorite tale of Aveline, the Knight of Orlais.
That sounds interesting.
A long time ago, a girl child was born to a farmer. He had hoped for a son, not a daughter, and so he told his wife to abandon the child in the woods. Before the cold could claim her, the baby was found by a tribe of Dalish elves who took pity on the poor mewling thing and raised her as their own. Aveline, for that is what they called her, grew strong and quick and clever under the guidance of the elves. She learned to wield the sword as well as any man, could kill a deer with an arrow at 100 paces, and was as graceful on the back of a horse as she was on foot.
Continue, please.
Aveline's Dalish guardians saw that she could easily best any Orlesian chevalier in battle, and wanted to show the cruel humans the child they had left to die. They bestowed upon her a fine horse and armor, and sent her to prove herself to her people in the grand tourney. Now in those days, no woman was allowed to take up arms, let alone compete in the grand tourney, but Aveline kept her helmet on and was not discovered.
Did she win the tourney?
Aveline won many events and gained the approval of the adoring crowd. Eventually, she came face to face with the knight Kaleva in the grand melee. Aveline had already bested him in the joust, and Kaleva was determined not to lose a second time. Out of desperation to regain his honor, Kaleva tripped Aveline and tossed her to the ground, ripping off her helmet as he did so. silence fell upon the arena as Aveline was revealed. Kaleva declared the previous competitions invalid. A woman had taken part, and this was not allowed. But the crowd cheered for Aveline. Kaleva was furious, for he had lost to a woman and was now being shamed. Blinded by his rage, he forced Aveline to her knees. "Know your place, woman," cried he, and slit her throat.
That's terrible.
The son of the king, Prince Freyan, was present. He recognized Aveline's skill and bravery and began to see the injustice done to the women in his land. When he was made king, he rewrote the laws of Olay so that women could also become chevalier. He honored Aveline and knighted her after her death. And to this day, any female who is knighted reveres Aveline the Brave, for she is the patron of all women chevalier.
Well, didn't do any good for Aveline. Well, she's dead. Do you know any Ferelden legends?
I know one, told to me by my mother a long time ago. It always chilled me to the bone. Maybe you have heard of Flemeth?
Oh yes, we've heard of Flemeth. Flemeth? Morgan's mother? Morgan's Flometh was called Flemeth.
Are you sure? Was she the Flemeth of legend? Flemeth, the devourer of men? Flemeth, mother of witches? Flemeth,
Quite the titles.
demon-touched, who dwells in the mists?
She looked like your average old woman.
Well, if Flemeth really exists, she would be very, very old indeed. Ferelden mothers scare their daughters with talk of Flemeth. They say that if you're bad, Flemeth will spirit you away and bind you to her forever. They also say that Flemeth mourns her lost beauty and will steal yours through your looking glass if she catches you.
Flemeth was once beautiful.
Flemeth's beauty was known throughout the land. She had hair like unto a moonless night, skin as pale as winter's first snow, and eyes as beautiful and perilous as the sea. When she came of age, she came to the attention of the Lord of Highever, Conobar, and he took her for his wife. Conobar soon learned that his young bride had the gift of magic. He kept this a secret, for he feared that she would be taken from him. Flemeth stayed with Conobar for some years, and with his blessing, she practiced her art. And then one day, a young poet named Osen came to the castle. Flemeth was captivated by Osen's voice, and he by her beauty, and they fell in love.
What happened next?
Flemeth longed to be with her true love, and she and Osen fled from Conobar's lands, seeking refuge in the Kokari
I believe
wilds
Morgan
with the
told us the
chasing
same
tribes.
story,
They
but
lived
of
there
course her
happily
own
for
version
many
of
a
it.
year, till the day Flemeth received news that Conobar was dying and longed to see her face one last time. Flemeth's heart swelled with pity for the man who once was her husband, and begged Osen to return to Conobar's side with her. But when Flemeth and Osen entered Highever, they were captured by Conobar's men, and Osen was slain in front of Flemeth's eyes. Flemeth was imprisoned in the highest tower of the castle, there to await Conobar's judgment on her. Distraught at the loss of her love, Flemeth plotted revenge against her husband. She summoned a fey demon, intending for it to wreak vengeance on Conobar. But a spell went awry. The demon possessed Flemeth. Turning her into an abomination, the halls of the castle ran red with blood as Flemeth slaughtered Conobar and all his men. The last of Flemeth's humanity melted away, and at dawn, she stole back to the wilds to plot and scheme for 100 years. They say she took to her side many chastened men, and with their help, begat her daughter witches, who even now prowl the dark places of the Kokari wilds.
According to the Morgan's version, the bard Osen, because he was so poor, Conobar actually agreed to pay for Flemeth, so that Osen might actually live a proper life with riches. And Osen actually agreed to that deal and sold Flemeth back to Conobar. But Conobart then betrayed Ocean and killed him. Didn't give him the money. And Leliana's version is more romantic. Oh, there was another story I wanted to hear.
Which one?
Do you know anything about the Dalish?
I have heard a little about
Let's
how
just
the
exhaust
elves
all of
gained
this
their
stuff.
freedom from the Tevinter
All this dialogue.
Imperium. When Andraste began her exalted march against the Imperium, the elves joined her cause to fight their masters. The great elven leader, Shatan, born in captivity, rose up to lead his people. He foresaw a future where the elves were free. Shatan was killed when Andraste was betrayed, but the elves continued to fight, eventually breaking free of the Imperium. The elves claimed the Dales in the south and settled there in a land of their own.
It didn't last.
The elves lived in the Dales for centuries. They resurrected the worship of the elven gods and would allow the building of no chantry. This angered the chantry, and the hostility between the two factions finally broke out in open war. The chantry says the elves struck first, but I do not know whether to believe it. The chantry declared a wholly exalted march against the elves, named for Andraste's similar march against Tevinter. During the exalted march of the Dales, the elven cities were sacked, and the elven state completely dissolved. Some of the elves bitterly accepted their fates and surrendered to human rule, living in the human cities as second-class citizens. But others, still fiercely proud of their heritage, refused to bow to the humans, and instead became homeless wanderers. They were the elves of the Dales, the Dalish.
What do you know about Andraste?
Andraste was the Maker's chosen. The Maker had long since abandoned the world when the sound of her singing turned his ear. Beauty, grace, and wisdom enraptured him, and he offered to take her from this flawed world to become his divine bride. But Andraste had an earthly husband and would not forsake him. Instead, she beseeched the Maker to return to his people once more. So earnest was her plea that the Maker was moved, and promised that he would create a paradise on earth if all abandoned their false gods and turned once more to him. And this is why Andraste began her exalted march on the idolaters of the Tevinter Imperium. The Maker granted her his powers with which to smite her enemies. Andraste brought the Imperium to its knees, and her victories converted many to the worship of the Maker.
How did Andraste die?
Alas, it was the frailties of men that betrayed and killed Andraste. Her earthly husband, Mafarath, a chieftain of the Alamari tribes himself, grew jealous as his wife's popularity and influence overshadowed his own. She was also revered as the Maker's betrothed, and Mafarath began to see their own bond waning in significance as Andraste became ever more devoted to the Maker. Out of envy and spite, Mafarath made a pact with the Archon Hysarian of Tevinter, allowing his beloved Andraste to be ambushed and captured. Andraste was burned at the stake in Minrathous, the capital of Tevinter.
Why did the Maker not save her with his power?
I have thought on this too. Did he withdraw his sight from her at that moment? Where were all the powers he bestowed upon her? This question has come to me many times, and I have no answer. Perhaps there was no way for Andraste to return to the Maker but through her death. We will never know for sure.
Okay, let's just move on. So I got 5 approval for Leliana by listening to the stories. Now, Win.
I must ask, what does
Oh my
being
God.
a Grey Warden mean to you?
It means I've been chosen to do something important.
There's that, of course. But there's more to being a Grey Warden than killing Darkspawn and saving the world from the Blight. Ultimately, being a Grey Warden is about serving others. About serving all people, whether elves or dwarves or men.
Really? At this point, being a Grey Warden is about running errands. Running errands and killing random people. You mean to say I serve as a protector?
As a Grey Warden, you are a guardian of men, and you guard them because their continued existence is more important than you are. Thus it is you who serves, not they.
I wish I could be served instead. I suppose that makes sense.
A good king, a true king who cares for his land, uses his power to rule firmly but fairly. He serves his people first and foremost. The king who does not do this, who believes that he is entitled to his power, who abuses it and uses it for his own means, is a tyrant.
So in a way, having power confines you.
If you live apart from others, and your actions affect only you, then you may do as you wish. But if you have power, influence, and strength, your every action will be as a drop of water in a clear, still pond. The drop causes ripples, and ripples
Oh
spread.
god damn it, Wayne, shut
Think of how
the
far they
hell
will go,
up.
how wide they will become, how will they affect the pond. But I've lectured enough for today. I should stop before
Indeed.
I wear out my welcome.
Before I throw you out of the fucking camp. Now, dog. Let's talk to dog. Doggy. Trying to find a way through the earth, are we? Alright, have fun then. Okay, so what's next? Alright, we have to return the ashes. We're gonna do that. We're gonna return the ashes to our Lehman. Let's take Alistair,
Yes.
Win,
Yes.
and Leliana with us. And we are gonna go to Redcliffe Castle. Oh no, a random event. Hope it's not anything bad. Oh, it's this guy. Nice, we got lucky. I need something from him, I believe.
You have coins, Strange? Find
I
what
do
we
have
know.
coin. Now
Prove
let's
it.
trade. Alright, he has this one. Tome of Skill and Sundry. It's the only place to get one of these. Along with countless other places where you can get this. You can also get a painting, which Sten likes. But Sten is already at max approval, I believe. So I don't really need it. Ceremonial armored boots are part of this set over here. So I wouldn't actually mind buying these. Just to collect. Just for collecting stuff. So I might as well buy these. Even though the ceremonial armor set is not that great. I'm gonna buy it. Why not? I can actually sell this, I don't really need those. I probably don't need the Morrigan ropes either. I'm gonna get better ropes soon. Also, I wanna buy the tome. This one right here. You can actually buy twice. You can actually buy items twice. I can actually demonstrate. Or I'm not sure if it works. Maybe it works, I'm not really sure. So, if you hold, this only works on PC version, I believe. I might be wrong. But if you hold right click, well, wait a minute. Or if you do it like this, yeah. If you hold left click, bring the painting over your inventory, and if you release your left click, you will purchase the item. But if you hold, if you then press simultaneously press right click, you open this window here, which gives you an option to purchase the item or sell item or whatnot. So let's try. I'm actually gonna do it the safe way, so I don't actually sell anything important accidentally. Now here, let's try. Well, let's try it on the metal shards. Why not? So Okay, it doesn't work. Or I remember it the wrong way. Well, fuck it, whatever, I'm buying these. There we go. Maybe it's not even possible. But there's the Tome of Skill and Sundry. It gives me 1 extra skill. We're gonna read it right now. Where is it? It's right here. And make sure that you read it on your main character. You can actually use it on your other party members by selecting them and then using the tome. But we wanna use all of these tomes that we can actually read and use, we're gonna use on the main character. There are some stuff that are basically restricted to classes, but we are not. So what do I wanna do? Nature resistance is good. Maximize the survival training. And this is actually quite useful at the Brazilian forest. So I might as well go for that. Because I'm gonna need the survival training at Brazilian forest in a side quest. Alright, so that's that. So now we're at the castle and hopefully our Lehman is still breathing so we can give him the ashes and hope that they even work. But considering what we had to go through in order to even access the urn, I believe the ashes might have some magical properties to them. So, yep. This guy still has the quest marker. Alright, Bantegan.
You return. Might you have news?
What is Arliman's condition?
Unchanged, I'm afraid.
Well, that's
We've
good.
tried more
He's still
magical
alive.
healing, but nothing works. As time passes, I become more and more convinced the urn might be our only hope.
I found the urn.
You have? Wonderful. Let us go at once to Eamon's side and see if the urn's healing powers live up to their reputation.
There we go. Let's see if we can get Arliman standing again.
Where am I?
Be calm, brother. You have been deathly ill for a very long time. Do you remember nothing?
Tegan? What are you doing here? Where is Isolde?
I am here, my husband.
And Connor? Where is my boy? Where is our son?
He lives, though many others are dead. There is much to tell you, husband.
Dead? Then it was not a dream.
Much has happened since you fell ill, brother. Some of it will not be easy for you to hear.
Then tell me. I wish to hear all of it. This is most troubling. There is much to be done, that is true. But I should first be thankful to those who have done so much. Grey Warden, you have not only saved my life, but kept my family safe as well. I am in your debt. Will you permit me to offer you a reward for your service?
I need your help against the Blight. That will do.
I understand, but regardless of your motivations, I feel you are worthy of a reward. I would like to honor your efforts. Nothing more.
As you wish, then.
Then allow me to declare you and those traveling with you champions of Redcliffe. You will always be a welcome guest within these halls. And for you, Warden, a shield of the same make as those that have been given to our finest knights.
Thank you, Your Grace.
We should speak of Loghain, brother. There is no telling what he will do once he learns of your recovery.
Loghain instigates a civil war even though the Darkspawn are on our very doorstep. Long I have known him. He is a sensible man, one who never desired power.
I was there when he announced he was taking control of the throne, Eamon. He is mad with ambition, I tell you.
Mad indeed. Mad enough to kill Kalen, to attempt to kill myself and destroy my lands. Whatever happened to him, Loghain must be stopped. What's more, we can scarce afford to fight this war to its bitter end.
This is in your hands now. What are you proposing then?
We have no time to wage a campaign against him. Someone must surrender if Ferelden is to have any chance at fighting the Darkspawn.
But once everyone learns what is done...
I will spread word of Loghain's treachery, both here and against the king. But it will be but a claim made without proof. Those claims will give Loghain's allies pause, but we must combine it with a challenge Loghain cannot ignore. We need someone with a stronger claim to the throne than Loghain's daughter, the Queen.
Are you referring to Alistair, brother? Are you certain?
I would not propose such a thing if we had an alternative, but the unthinkable has occurred.
Depending what I choose here gives approval or disapproval with Alistair. Alistair would be a terrible king. I think Alistair would actually approve that. Alistair would be a terrible king.
Hey, I'm right here.
Tegan and I have a claim through marriage.
I think he should disapprove.
It's no better than Loghain. Alistair's claim is by blood.
And what about me? Does anyone care what I want?
You have a responsibility, Alistair. Without you, Loghain wins. I would have to support him for the sake of Ferelden. Is that what you want?
But I... No, my lord.
I see only one way to proceed. I will call for a landsmeet, a gathering of all of Ferelden's nobility in the city of Denerim. There, Ferelden can decide who shall rule, one way or another. Then the business of fighting our true foe can begin. What say you to that, my friend? I do not wish to proceed without your blessing.
My blessing? Why do you need my blessing?
None of this would be possible without you. You led Alistair here. You saved my life with the urn of sacred ashes. It's your lead I follow. I am a credible enough figure in this nation to call the landsmeet, but I hold no illusions that I could face Loghain without you. Surely you see that.
Wouldn't it be easier to simply kill Loghain?
I'm not sure that would help our cause. We would become the criminals, and our accusations would become excuses. Furthermore, I'm not even certain where Loghain might be.
What's stopping Loghain from just attacking Redcliffe?
Why do you think he had me poisoned? He wanted me gone without having to confront me directly. If I call for a landsmeet, refusing the compromise and attacking Redcliffe will only support our accusations. I'm sure he'd rather I died from the poison. Had the demon not interfered, that's exactly what would have happened.
What if we defeated him in battle?
Unless we convince some of Loghain's allies to abandon him, that's not likely to happen. Our army is not large enough. As a Grey Warden, you may gather allies to you, but we need those forces to face the Darkspawn, not to battle against our own.
Do you think this landsmeet idea will work?
That depends. If we cannot get a consensus in the landsmeet for Alistair, we cannot afford to oppose Loghain either. Does that mean Loghain could win? A man who killed his own king, who has gone mad with power? Perhaps. We must see that he does not.
And what if we support Loghain?
I hope that's a joke.
I hope it does not come to that. If you are suggesting surrender, consider that he has already sought your death. You think he will spare you, knowing what you know?
What about the Darkspawn?
Ferelden must stand united to defeat the Darkspawn. A fractured nation will not defeat the Blight, even given my army and those gathered with your treaties.
What are my options?
You have already found allies, but we need those to fight Darkspawn. I truly believe the landsmeet is our best option. We could attempt to wage a military campaign against Loghain. But even if we win, would we have enough left to defeat the Darkspawn?
No, but neither would Loghain.
Perhaps Loghain gambles on this attitude. That everyone will decide facing the Darkspawn is more vital than facing him, so that he leads us against the Horde.
It seems we have little choice.
Very well. I will send out the word. It will take some time to recall my forces and organize our allies. I would prefer to wait until that is done before calling the Landsmeet. In the meantime, I suggest you pursue the remainder of the Grey Warden treaties. We will need all the allies we can get if we are to defeat the Darkspawn Horde.
Alright, so yeah, our Lehman is up and about, standing there. Everybody's okay. We gained a level up too, so... Well, actually we didn't. Oh yes, we actually did. But I don't have enough skill points to actually get the, well, levels to get the destroyer ability. Oh well, I'll get this one. So yeah, Arlimon is okay, and Arlimon is actually Kaelan's uncle, which makes him quite powerful among the other nobility in Ferelden. Who are you?
Salutations, Grey Warden. We have been sent by the Circle of Magi to advise Redcliffe until more mages can arrive from the tower.
What kind of advice can you offer?
To be truthful, Grey Warden,
Oh my god.
the first enchanter sent us here to guard Van Tegan. If the Arl does not revive from his sickness,
Dude, talk to my
Van
face.
Tegan will need to take his place. And we must be careful that what happened to the Arl does not repeat itself.
Oh, but the Arl is already okay. When will the rest of the mages arrive?
A number of our fellow mages still need time to recover from their ordeal. The first enchanter assures us that the Circle will be ready to assist against the Darkspawn when the time comes.
I will leave you to your business. So yeah, these guys were here to protect Bantegan in case the demon returned or something. But the threat is gone, our Lehman is alright, and blah blah blah.
The Earl's recovery is a boon to the nation. We all owe you a great debt.
That's right. Reward me. Alright, I got a reward. And it's a shield. Redcliffe Elite Shield. 3 defense, 2 attack. Is it better than Alistair's Bulwark of True King? It gives 1 armor, 3 defense. The electricity resistance is good. Well, might as well use it, why not? Yeah, alright. I could talk to these guys still.
My husband leaves.
Husband leaves.
You have restored Eamon.
I am
most
still
grateful.
not
Alright, you don't have anything else to say, so we might as well leave. There's nothing for us here. So our Lehman is okay, and he suggested that we set up a Landsmeet, a meeting with all Ferelden's nobility, and there, with Alistair's claim to the throne, we're gonna try to convince the nobility to support the true king, which is Alistair, and not the queen, which is Loghain's daughter. And even though Loghain's daughter is basically just a pawn in Loghain's power grab. Alright, we have to turn in a couple of quests. But we're gonna go to party camp first. We're gonna go to party camp. I'm gonna go talk to Leliana. Alright, I was supposed to give the gifts to these guys too. I'm actually gonna quick save in case I give gifts to wrong people, because that is completely possible. So I believe Win likes books, so let's give her some.
Oh, marvelous.
Marvelous, thank you. Rose of Olay, a book. Romance with the arrogant Chevalier Garen. Now I don't know if this is a book for Win or a book for Leliana. Alistair might like this one, Golden Demon Pendant. but I know he will like the Stone Warrior statuette.
Is that for me?
For sure.
Really?
I didn't find the painting. Small silver bar. Zevran likes these.
I shall treasure it. Thank you.
There you go. Now, silver chain. I believe that's an. The Rose of Warley. Golden Demon Pendant. I think that's a gift for Alistair. I'm gonna quick save just in case. It's a gift for Alistair. I'm pretty sure. And let's try the Rose of Orlais for a win.
Oh,
It was for her. Alright, nice. That's good. Now Alistair, Golden Demon Pendant.
Oh, thank you.
It wasn't for
That's
you.
good.
Alright, quick load. As you saw, I only gained one approval for giving the Golden Demon Pendant to Alistair.
Oh, my.
But oh, is it for Sten then? It might be for Sten. Okay. But Sten is already capped, so I might as well not give him anything. These alcohols are meant for one other party member that we can get later on. And maybe we should go get him. Should we get him? I'm trying to remember if there's something. I have to return these to Wade. Yeah, I also have a couple of yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Heavy chainmail. You know what? I'm gonna give you these boots. I'm also gonna give you the ceremonial armor. I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna sell this. We're gonna get better gear for you, don't worry. I'm not sure where you can get the last piece for the ceremonial armor, the gloves, but I'll find them. Alright, win gained some bonuses.
Anything I can...
Let me see who wears. I believe we're gonna go to Denerim. We're gonna go to Denerim, yeah. Now let's sell this. I'm gonna sell the Helm of the Red too. And this. Yep. Once I get better armor, I might actually purchase this helmet because it's very good. 2 armor, 6 attack, 25 physical resistance. Well, the plus 2 armor and 6 attack is great. The physical resistance not so, because we have Indomitable, which already gives us maximum physical resistance. Alright, I was supposed to talk to Leliana. Leliana gives her companion quest.
Something I can help with?
I'd like to talk to you about something.
Yes? What's on your mind?
I heard that in Orlais, minstrels are often spies.
Where did you hear this?
I read it in a history book.
And did you not think that this could be historical fact and no longer true? Not all minstrels are spies. Most are just singers and storytellers. But some of them are what we call bards.
What's the difference? Well, I thought minstrels were bards.
Many use the two words minstrel and bard interchangeably, but to do so in Orlais would cause misunderstanding. Bards are minstrels and more. Spies, as you say. Some say there is a bard order, but I don't think this is true. Many bards work alone or in small groups, doing the bidding of a patron who pays for their services. If there is an organization behind it all, no one knows who they are.
What sort of services does a bard offer?
What do you think? They infiltrate, steal, sometimes assassinate? It depends on the bard. In Orlais, there is much rivalry amongst the highborn. They fight over land, influence, and the favor of the empress. But they cannot do this openly because it is impolite, and in public, They wear smiling faces and pretend to be civil. In secret, they plot and scheme to destroy each other. It is a game completely meaningless to anyone but its players.
You seem to know quite a bit about these bards.
And I should, shouldn't I, after having spent most of my adult life as one? You've guessed as much, I'm sure. But does it really matter what I was? What's past is past.
But why were you living cloistered sister in rural Ferelden?
I found myself in Ferelden and sheltered from bad weather in the Chantry. And when the storm passed, I just did not want to leave. I like to say the Maker brought me here.
Yeah, she didn't tell us the whole story. She used to be a bard working for some noble, but then shit happened. And now she's at Ferelden. Anyway, we're gonna go to Denerim next. And we're gonna pick Leliana with us. We're also gonna pick Wynne and Severin.
Yes.
And let's go. And we will probably get ambushed on the way. Or at least I hope so. What? Are you serious? That's bull.
Huh.
I wanna get ambushed. Let's go to Lake Callanhead. Huh. Weird. Curious. Let's talk again.
I lied to you, you know.
Oh, there we go.
Why I left Orlais.
Why?
I didn't feel like talking about it then. What happened to me? Maybe it will affect us, maybe not, but you should know. I came to Ferelden and the Chantry because I was being hunted in Orlais.
Hunted? What for?
I was framed, betrayed by someone I thought I knew and could trust. Marjolaine. She was my mentor and friend. She taught me the bardic arts, how to enchant with words and song, to carry myself like a highborn lady, to blend in as a servant. The skills I learned, I used to serve her, my bard master, because I loved her, and because I enjoyed what I did.
Why did she betray you?
You can say it was my fault. There was a man I was sent to kill. I was to bring Marjolaine everything he carried. I don't know who this man was. She gave me a name and a description, and I hunted him down. I found documents on his body, sealed documents.
Important documents?
It turns out that they were. My curiosity got the better of me. Something told me that I needed to know what was in those letters. Marjolaine had been selling all kinds of information about Orlais to other countries, Nevara and Antiva among others. It was treason.
So, it's just Orlais. Isn't that what bards do?
Some. But I had always assumed Marjolaine only operated within Orlais. This was an unhappy surprise for me. My life as bard taught me that my loyalties should be kept fluid. My concern was not that she was a traitor, but that her life would be in danger if she was caught. Orlais has been at war with so many countries. It takes a harsh view of such things, as I later discovered.
Most countries don't appreciate treason.
I should have left well alone, but I didn't. I had to tell Marjolaine I feared for her life. She brushed aside my concern. She admitted her guilt, but said it was in the past. That is why the documents had to be destroyed, she said. I believed her. I kept believing up till the moment they showed me the documents, altered by her hand, to make me look the traitor.
Who's they?
The Orlesian guards. They captured me. Did terrible things to make me confess and reveal my conspirators. It was a traitor's punishment I endured. And at the end of it, all that awaited me was eternity in an unmarked grave.
How did you get out?
The skills Marjolaine taught me were good for something at least. I broke free when I saw the opportunity. I did not seek Marjolaine out. If she thought I was coming for her, she would have me caught again.
And so you came to Ferelden, to Lothering.
I was tempted to confront her. I was furious, betrayed. But what could I do against her? And so I fled to Ferelden, to the Chantry and the Maker. Ferelden protected my person, and the Maker saved my soul. And that is the reason I am here. The real reason. No more lies between us, at least in this.
Thank you for trusting me with this.
It feels good to have this off my chest. Thank you for listening and understanding.
Yes. Alright, now we should be able to continue on Leliana's personal quest. But anyway, we're gonna save. Camp 6. And continue next time.